Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Christy here at My Artful Adventures, and today we are doing masterpieces in the making over in the Crafty Bunch group. And thank you, Lisa. Lisa Boone is our hostess today. So, oh my goodness, I had a piece of fabric that I thought it was a piece of muslin, and it is not. I'm so disappointed. Okay, let me put you down here. We are going to have some paper clips. We gotta have some paper clips to make this. So, and you know what? I think I'm just gonna get out one at a time so they don't just get to lost out here. Oh my goodness. Can I undo them? There we go. There's one. And we're going to use some laces and ribbons, and I've just got a whole stack of things out here to use. I got a whole pile. If you saw the graphic that I used, you could see that I had quite a few things. Now, the first thing I want to use is something that is, I want it to be equal on both sides. I don't know why, that's just what I want to do. You know, I'm just going to shove this over here, okay, so it can kind of sit behind me over there. How's that? I think that will work just fine. Okay, who else popped in? Hi, Diane, Sherry, Fleta. Hi, everybody. Okay, so, and I know a lot of times this is kind of dinner time over on the East Coast, so sometimes that's kind of a problem. Okay, I'm going to take the paper clip, and before I get started, I want a little piece of paper that will kind of help us start our pieces. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be big, but just a little piece, and we just want it, it's just going to be a starter. So depending on which way you want your paper clip to go, you know, a paper clip goes, you know, if we wanted, we're going to hang stuff off of the bottom, right? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Well, yes, it would matter. If you want your paper clip to, it's like a right and left Twix. We have to go. If you want it to clip to the right, we would point it this way. If we want to clip it this way to the left, we'd have to put it this way. You guys, maybe I should zoom in a little bit more. Hang on one second. This is going to be kind of, we're going to be doing kind of small things. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take this, and actually I want the long part. You know, this is the other thing. We've got this part where it separates up here. Well, you know what? Yeah, either way, we want this on the long side. So I'm going to put this piece of paper in here to help us get started. And now, as I put this in, you know, I just feel like I need to work this other direction though. Now we can kind of use that, and it can kind of help us get that in there. And then once you get that one in, you can just go ahead and pull your little starter tab out, so to speak. Okay, so now that's our first thing we've got there. And I'm going to snip this off. And you just have to decide how long you want it. That might be a little bit too long. You don't need it super long. But these would be fun to just put in your journal pages and things like that. Okay, so there we go. We've got that little piece there. And then if we wanted to put, let's see. You guys, I've got so many things. And then I realized a bunch of the things that I wanted to use are out in another building outside. And it was just raining cats and dogs today. Okay, this is what I was saying. This is a pillowcase. It wasn't a piece of muslin, but that's okay. Where's the seam? There's the seam. Let's rip a piece off. You guys, if you're not using fabric scissors and you have, you know, scissors that you are using for all kinds of things, and you are trying to cut a piece of fabric, if you will cut back here closer to, you know, where the blades are joined together, really we don't cut back here as often, And so usually if you need a sharp little place, that is a good place to cut, is right there. But I'm just going to try and clear this now. And just rip it off. Uh-oh, that started off the other direction. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so now I've got some little pieces that we can use. Oh, that'll be perfect. So, and you know, sometimes it's just kind of fun to have like some little raveledy edges, right? Now this side, let's pull a little bit out over here. You can just take some of your strands and pull them if you want it a little bit more raveled. Who likes messy? Tell me if you like messy or you like neater things. I'm interested. You know, most of my stuff is probably neater, but you know, sometimes I just like to do a little bit of messy. How about you guys? And you know, you could leave some of these strings, and some of our friends who do a lot of work with fabrics and things, they keep these to use in their projects. I know some of them, they'll talk about making a, you know, little string puddle, right? And that's got the seam there, so let's clip that off. So yeah, now we've got all of these little strings. We could just save those to use for something. I admit I never have made a string puddle. Not yet anyway. So, you know, it could happen, right? It could happen. Oh my goodness, you guys. And at some point you just have to call it, and if there's some of them loose, you can just you know, trim them off. You don't have to get them all, because it's like the more you pull, the more there are, right? So you just grab what you want. Oh my goodness, this is starting to be a real mess. So let's just go back down here and let's just clip off for now what we want. So we want to fold it. We just need a little bit. We're not going to make it as long as this piece. So just a little piece here. Now let's see if we can rip it. No, sometimes going the opposite direction is a little bit harder. But sometimes if you give it a start, you can do it. Oh, but then look what happened. Then I got a whole nother mess of the strings, right? Messy and frayed. Ruth says she likes messy and frayed. What about the rest of you? Do you like neat or messy? Okay, let's move this off to the side. And look, you know, the part that got ripped, I like that a lot more. It looks so much more natural than the part that, you know, got the edge frayed by hand. But that's okay. Either way. So let's, you know what, and I'm not so sure the way that we're doing this. I'm thinking it doesn't matter which way we would put it. Well, it will eventually. I take that back. So then, because we're going to have to decide which side we're going to use for the front eventually. Okay, so now we've got that. And now you can make some little squares of, you know, other fibers or fabrics or other little colors of things. Let's see what we've got in here. I don't know. You know, and maybe you have a real mix of different little things. It just doesn't really, you know, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it, really. Oh my goodness, where's my... I can't deal with that all day. Let me just cut out this. It's like a little medallion. Cut that out. Cut this other part around. And it doesn't really matter how many little layers that you put on here. That's just up to you. So you can just put that on there. I mean, it's just going to be something interesting, right? And now, if we want to, we could just go ahead and leave it at this point and then put a button on. Let's find a button. So maybe if we find, or you could maybe find a piece of broken jewelry. You know what? I've got some buttons that we might could find something that would look at this. I think we can find a button in there that works. That'd be cool. Look at this. Look how cool that is. And we've just got a little button right there. Well, I kind of like that. We could move it down a little bit. I like it. Let's do that. So you can use whatever kind of thread you want. I brought some of this. You know, I don't have a cream color though of this. Let's see, where's my... Hang on, let me reach back over here if I can without knocking a bunch of stuff off. I see my... Ta-da! Oh, I don't... Oh, I can't use that. That's going to be too thick. And that's the wrong color. That's a pretty floss, but I don't think that's a little bit too much. Maybe I'll leave that needle threaded if I can find a different one. I've got some other needles here. Let's just go ahead. Now this is my waxed linen thread, and a lot of people use this, and it's really nice because it just kind of stays there. This is not very thick. A lot of times you see it that is more like a cord than this is, but we don't need it to be, you know, we don't need a ton. And it's just going to basically hold this button on and hold these layers together, and that's really all we need it to do. You know, I think I'll just go ahead and do double. Now it's not very pointed, so okay, this remains to be seen if this is going to work. Wish me luck. Wish me luck, people. So we're gonna push it through. Oh, that's not bad. That came through. Oh, well, I didn't go through the fabric. Well, maybe we want to make sure it's kind of straight back there. There. And then you want to make sure, see, this is why, now if you wanted to be able to use it on both sides, you could stick another button back here. But it's kind of nice that it could be flat, so it could be flat against the page, right? That would be nice. If you're going to use it in a journal or in a book, you probably want it to be flat on one side. So I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to use the needle and help me with my tying my knot, you guys. Because then I'll just be able to wrap that around easy. So just a little square knot. And then we can snip those threads. Like that. And now we have a cute little altered embellishment to go on a journal page. Let's see, do I have a journal sitting here? Maybe, hang on. Okay. Oh, here was the one that we had done some of these things in. Oh, look at this. My goodness, I couldn't have planned this any better. Look at this. Now this, it's kind of thick though, because this is one of those pages that was, okay. This is that never-ending thing, and so they're kind of thick. They're all thick. But look at this color. That's kind of cool. Ta-da! Anyway, and you know, if you wanted to, if I really wanted to push it over, it could even live out there like that. So, okay. So that didn't take us long. Let's see what time it is. Okay. So now you could do some that were kind of a theme. I've got some red, white, and blue stuff out here. Let's make one like this. Okay, and I purposefully did not get out more paper clips. But where are they? Where's the little bag? Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, I can't believe this. Well, here's one. Okay, at least we'll get another one done before I have to hunt. Oh my goodness. Did anybody see which direction I put that? Oh, and you know, maybe for this, you might not have to have, I would say for a piece of ribbon as your starting thing, you would not have to have that piece of paper. If you are using lace that's got, you know, so many places that it could catch, I think that's when it's probably important to be able to, you know, have something you can separate it better and it not catch on this, you know, corner of that. Oh my goodness. Seriously, I'm concerned about my paperclip status here. So we've got that. This feels backwards doing it like this. This would be to clip on from that direction. Let's see what we can find. We could put a little bit of this white satin ribbon. Who else answered about whether they like neat and tidy or messy? Hi Linda, how are you? So we'll just put a little bit here. And you know what? Ooh, here's an idea. Let's do this. Since we're working with ribbon on these, let's do this. Let's dovetail our ribbons on here. So to make a nice dovetail, if you go up about, you know, right in the center, and then you go from the corner to the top of your cut, that's one way that you can do it. You can also fold it in half and get a nice dovetail like that by clipping the corners. That one's still kind of stuck in there. These are kind of big to do that. So just up to the little slit. Oh, that's slit a little more than I think. And that doesn't look like it's exactly in the middle because that one was behind. And it's better to clip these. Don't pull them because then you can fray your ribbon or your fabric or whatever. You can cause a problem. Okay, so now we've got this one. And so the other way that you can do this is take the two corners, or, you know, fold it in half. I'm going to hold it this direction. Fold it in half and then cut out towards the corners like that. And then you've got, you know, the little dovetails. So a couple of ways you can do it. And I'm just going to pull this up a little farther. And I think this one I'll do the same. So from the outside corner, you want to angle up to get your dovetails like that. All right. So what else shall we use on that? I bet there might be a little bit of, oh, this is not a pile. It's got a lot of tiny ribbon. Oh, here, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, how fun. Okay, so let's run this through. These ribbons, you guys, came from Michael's. Every once in a while they have these big things, except I don't know, ours, they told me at some point that they quit carrying them in the store and you had to order them online. So that was kind of crummy. But they're called, oh, what were they called? Oh man, you should never start the stories if you don't know the ending, right? Hi, Nicole. Oh my goodness. What were they called? Oh, I've got one sitting right over here in the drawer. I can't remember. I'm going to make this long. You guys, I piddle around too much to do mass making. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh my goodness. I think about it too much. And I've said before, like when we do our journal events and stuff, I laugh and I say, I cannot believe how much stuff some of our friends can get done in one sitting. It's just amazing. Now, if you cut any of those and you don't want them to get ravelly or whatever, you can either just tap a tiny little bit of glue on the bottom or like on the edges. And ribbons you can actually heat and it'll like kind of melt them and seal them shut. I wanted to kind of put this in the middle, but I don't know. This looks like it's going to be more difficult than I planned. Well, it's not too bad. And they don't have to match. I mean, see how this one is going, you know, it's kind of, I've got a pin right here. I'm going to pin this till I decide on a button. Phew, okay. I don't want to hold that the entire time. Okay, so, oops, sorry. Bonked the microphone over here. So let's see, what color of a button do you think we should get? Don't you love how I emphasize that B? Button. All right. Maybe red. Oh, I think that would be fun. Let's put a red one on. Now this, oh, that's kind of fun. Look, it's kind of a star too. That would be kind of fun. And you could just, you don't have to put another piece of fabric behind. Oh, I like that. Let's do that one. Or, oh, I've got another idea too. You could take, if you want to put a little bit more fabric on it and make it, so, you know, no, I'm just going to leave that one. Let's just leave that one. So let's, oh, where's that other needle? Here it is. So let's just go ahead and attach our button here. What have you guys been up to today? Look at this. This thing that's kind of this red, white, and blue makes me think that, you know, before we know it, we're going to be into Memorial Day and the 4th of July. And it's just like, oh my gosh, can you believe how we're just rolling through this year? Kind of incredible. Okay, I'm going to pull a little of this out. Even though this, and the first time I ever bought, well, the first time, this is the only time I ever bought waxed linen anything, and that was how it came. I ordered what somebody had suggested, and this is what it was. It came from a bookmaker's supply store, so I'm like, okay, well, it has to be, you know, what I'm looking for, I guess, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. Why do some things have to feel like they're such a challenge? Okay. So I mean, there's kind of a big little you know, space back here, but that's okay. And then I'd rather have more on this side so it's a little easier to tie. There just went my pin. I decided to see if it really was easier to do with the needle. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay, so now we've got our other one. What do you think? That'd be cute and a, you know, for just the right thing, right? Just the right thing. So there's that one, and here was the other one. I mean, look how totally different they look. I mean, this one was all made with all ribbons, and this one has got some lace, and this is just a lot more vintagey looking, right? I like it. And yet, with that I don't remember what I was going to say. Something. Something. I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of fun. Let's make another one. Oh, please hold while I think of what I've done with the... Oh my gosh. I was smart enough. I put it back in the box of goodies over here. That's always amazing. Amazing and fabulous. When you put it somewhere you can find it, right? Phew. Okay, so here's our another one. Our another one. Our next one. Our next contestant. Another paper clip. Okay. So let's see what I got here. This would be kind of fun. I got this in one of our sales a week or so ago. Ooh, this would be kind of fun. I like it. Let's do it. Let's chop a piece out here. So I think, I think this is a pretty good length that we've been making. What do you guys think? This is about, let me pull it out over here and measure them. So this one is about 3 inches high, not including the paper clip. And then this one is just a tiny bit shorter. It's about 2.5 inches. So like I said, it really doesn't matter. I kind of like this little chunky one, the little short chunky one. I know, we're going to blink and it's going to be the 4th of July. It rained all day and still raining. Very dreary. Worked on a decorative tote bag for crafting supplies. Ruth, it is, we got a lot of rain today too. In fact, when my granddaughter got ready to leave, I go, well, she'd gone somewhere earlier, and I asked her when I thought about it, I said, I don't think it's raining right now, is it? And she goes, oh, just a little bit. And I said, well, was it raining when you were out and about? And she said, a little bit. She said it was still raining a little bit. Oh, here, looky here. I found another piece that's even on both sides. Oh, pretty. Let's use this. Except let's use a little bit. Let's add another little piece of this too. That's kind of fun. I kind of liked it. And you can add little squares of fabric if you've got them. Some little squares of, muslin or linen, some burlap, whatever you've got that you could, sew through or glue. That'd be a lot of fun. I do like this though on the side that is ripped. I like that the best. And this, I wish I could tear it that other direction. I just can't get it to tear that way. Some of our friends on here are master tearers. Oh, there we go. There, I got that. Let's clip that off a little bit on the end. Oh my goodness. That would probably bother me a lot. Never been able to finally get them. Oh, probably because, you know me, I like it kind of neat. Okay, let's get back to using this so we can pull it and get our lace through. That just helps it kind of slide over nice. It's just kind of slick and comes right over. I like that. Okay, and this one is going to be one that goes to the left. And even if you get it a little bit wider in here, it's just going to kind of gather up a little bit, and that's not a problem. Not for me anyway. So I don't need a whole bunch of this one. Let's see if I can rip it. I think you pretty much have to give it a little start and have some more threads. And maybe I should not worry about the threads as I'm doing that. Would you want to just keep making the keep it straight, and would you keep just making it messy? If it's messy, just let it live messy. I kind of want, I don't know, we've got the blue peeking out there, so I mean it is kind of cool like that. I think I want this a little bit shorter, so we've got some of that blue sticking out the bottom. Oh my gosh, I hope if I get 3 of them made that it's gonna count for a mass make, Lisa. What do you think? Is that gonna cover me? Okay, and then this one, just want to pull it to where we've got that blue sticking out. Once you get them in here, it's a little bit harder to, you know, even them up on one side or the other, it seems like. Okay, I think that's good there. That gives us a little bit more of that blue sticking out. I like it. That'll work. Except now my pin went flying off. Here's another needle. I can stick that there so it doesn't move all around. Let's put a little bit of, and it doesn't, you don't have to have like a whole piece. Even if you just put another little square of something, it just adds a little bit more texture and interest. Doesn't even have to be square. In fact, maybe I'll just put it like this. Okay, now let's find a good button for that one. Oh, I think in the same pile. Or do we want to use, what do you guys think? Shall I find a cool blue button to use? Or, oh, I wonder what I've got for broken jewelry. Or like a creamish white color. Or, let's see what we've got in here. If there's anything. Hey Becky, how are you? Of course. Now I cut one of these off to use for something. I used my metal cutter things that I used to cut dies apart. Oh man, look at that. I don't like that for this, but isn't that interesting? Oh, look at this. Look, you guys, look at how many colors are in there. That would be good with, that could be okay with this color. It also could be kind of cool with this color as well. Look at that. And maybe you could, you know, make one that's even less. But you know, the problem with this is it's so fat, or it's so, the depth is so thick that it really, if you're trying to make these so that you could use them in journals, that would kind of, you know, begin to present some problems, because you're not gonna be able to, I mean, talk about a chunky journal, right? Yeah, I think let's not look for some things like that unless you could find something that was super flat. Oh look, those are cute. And you know, maybe you find something like this and you cut off the little post for the earring, or bend it and it falls off, either one. And then, you know, you've got something like that, and you could add some shiny metals to something. Oh, that's kind of cool looking. Oh, you guys, I kind of like that. Silver would have been, you know, even more cool. Or what about one of these little hearts? Oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that. Should we put the little heart on? Let me... There, I can open that up by hand. And we can sew this on here. If we're going to use this one, let's turn this way and put the heart on right like this. And I'm going to stitch it a little bit different. Maybe, let me see. Well, now I don't know about how to start. You know what? I'm going to go behind here. I'm going to go in between here, and I'm just going to grab a little bit in there and go in, and I'm going to leave. Well, I don't know. You know what? Let me tie a little knot in here in the end, just like if I was going to thread or if I was sewing something. Let me make it a thicker knot. There, see, I've got a pretty big knot on there, right? So now I know it's not going to come through that piece of fabric that was the pillowcase strip. It won't come that far through. There we go. Okay, and now I can go back through here, and I'll probably do it a couple times. And now I can go back all the way through all of it and back. And on this one, I'm going to go through part way and kind of feed it through underneath. Come out somewhere here. These things are winding all around here. Okay, and keep pulling that. Okay, now we've got it secured behind. Whew. And so up through here, up through our little bracelet link. I think it had been a bracelet. And now we can go, I'm going to grab all of those again and come back up another time. Oh my goodness, I didn't even check to see if it was straight. And it's not. It's not very straight. I'll tell you what I can do though. I'm going to pull it back through here, and I'm going to come up like kind of at the top of this little heart thing. You know what? Actually, I think I could. Let's not do that. Let's just end on this, and I can put a dab of glue and make that straight. I can straighten it out with a little bit of glue, as long as I don't pull it too tight with my thread. Oh my goodness. Whew. Who thought that would take that much thought and effort? Or if I pull it up through here and tighten it a little bit, maybe that will work. Like, pull it there and keep it tight. Oh, that helps a lot. There we go. There. Okay. And now you can't really even see where I've done this back here. And now I'm going to go back in through there. I'm going to pull it through again and come back out. I'm going to end up so that I want to go underneath so I can make a better knot under here. And then it doesn't look so tacky on that back side. And sometimes if you need to, tie something off when you're using a needle and thread, just take a little stitch, pull it through, run your needle through this stitch, pull it up tight, and just keep kind of doing that, and you're basically creating a knot on your thread. And trust me, it's not, you can do this by accident and it's not going to come undone. So if you're going to do it on purpose, for sure it won't come undone. Okay, there we go. And that will work just fine. I can just leave a little bit of the tail. There, look at that. Oh, I like it. Look at that little bit of, you know, fray. Well, you guys, this is fun. And, you know, here's this little piece flapping off over here. I like it. And it's all different lengths. We've got little frayed parts. I love this. Hey, Anne, how are you? Hi, Carol. You guys, this is fun. You ladies who like to do some junk journaling, look how fun these are. So we've got these. We've made 3 of them now in, you know, various forms and fashions. Look, this looks like I should be wearing it somehow. I should wear this one somehow. What do you think? Oh, wear it for something. It's like a little patriotic thing. Okay. But then this one was a little bit longer too. I do kind of like the short ones, but somehow they just kind of get a mind of their own, you guys. You start working on it and then all of a sudden, ta-da! Now here's a little piece of green too. And it's not exactly the same on both sides, but you know, it's got a little bit of scallop on that side too. Let's make a little green one. Oh, you know what? The green one would look great if we use this. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Now I just got to find the paper clips again, you guys. I could have sworn they were right here in the box where I got the button bags. No, there they are. They were too easy to see. Too easy to see. Okay. There we go. Oh, let's see. Now, let's just make one. I want to make another one kind of this size. I like that. So I'm just going to snip this one about that long. I don't usually, you know, this is not really a color that I would normally use for anything, but it's kind of cool. Now, you know, when you get ready to do something like this and you've got piles and piles and piles of stuff, I mean, how much of a pile do you pull out to have handy on your workspace? I mean, you can't just, you have to be careful, right? Now this would be kind of cool because you can kind of see through it a little bit. I kind of like that. Let's do that. And then I'm still working towards this little piece. And you know, I wonder if we took a piece like this and just cut like one section off. Somebody was talking the other day about how in the world do you tell which is the front of some of these laces, and boy, that is the truth. Sometimes it's hard to see. Now I think on this one I'm going to cut this, and I'm not going to dovetail it. I think I'll just angle cut it kind of deep. And I don't want this fraying. This organza ribbon, I love this organza ribbon. I think it is really great to work with. But the only thing about it is it really ravels. Or it frays. It's not so much ravelly. But if you want a nice thing, you can just take a little bit of that glue that's going to dry clear and just tap it on here. Now satin ribbon, I know you can heat and it will seal it like that. I don't know about this organza. I haven't really tried that. Does anybody know? Who's tried that? Oh, Susan, you said you did. Oh, man, I would have shared some rain with you from last night. My goodness, we got a lot of rain. Let's see if this one is easier to put in. I think because it is this ribbon and it doesn't have a lot of places to catch, it'll be fine. Yeah, that was easy. That was an easy one. And then I'm going to slip this one in. And okay, this one has more texture on this side. So there's that. And then we'll put this on here like that. What do you think? I like it. I like that. And you know, if you really didn't want to do a lot, you don't have to sew it, you know, really. I think we could even just use some glue that will work for fabric. And we can put a little dot down here. Man, if we didn't have to sew it up, if we weren't going to get out our needle and thread, I got to get this going. If we weren't going to do that, we could really motor through some of this, right? You just got to be careful where you're getting these placed down. Wait a second. Just making sure I'm not sure I got the right side of that green ribbon. Oh, that's one of those that's going to be hard to tell. I think it works either way. And then you can decide if you want to kind of crisscross them a little bit, or you want them, you know, exactly straight on top of each other. And that's just up to you. You know what you decide. Okay, so you lay that down there. And see the way that we're doing this. Oh my goodness, every time I look at this, I think the other side is the right side. On this side, you can kind of see this tiny little flower, but when you flip it over, you don't. But I can see more stitching on this side. I don't know, I like it better on this. And that's the thing, you know, sometimes it just boils down to which side you like best. I don't know, I still am not sure that was the right side. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Now, now here's going to be a problem. This one does not have a lot of space that is touching. Okay, I'm just going to, you know, I'm just going to put some I'm going to glob it on and hope for the best. How about that? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Now on this one, if I was going to add a stitch and make sure that stayed, I think I would stitch it across right here. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I would do 2 of them and put them right there. I don't know. I kind of like that though. Look how you can use those broken pieces of jewelry to make, you know, to add some interest on those. What do you think? Look, I did 4. I've gotten 4 done already. Oh, Lisa, I'm going to qualify for mass making. Well, we've only got, I don't think I've got enough time to do one more. Well, there's something else. You know, something else that could have been fun to add is I got some of these from Cheryl, Mama P, the other day. And I thought when I was looking at these, I'm like, oh my goodness. These could be adorable to add on to something. And then like put a little button in the center of that. Wouldn't that be fun? In fact, I wish I had another piece of white that was more even on both. Oh, here. No, did we use this one already? We didn't even use this one. And you can make these as simple or, you know, as elaborate as you would want, right? You could put more layers on if you wanted to. Let's put this one on and see how cute it would be if we were to use one of these other little ones. Oh, you guys, this is going to be, I'm going to do a real simple one here. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to fold that over. I'm going to add this on. And a button. I'm going to put a button on it. Except, you know, I'm going to sew that one on. Because I think if we're going to use a button, I think it would be cuter. I don't want that. I want a white button. I want the white button. So following me is going to be Lisa. She's coming up next. Lisa Boom Designs. You know, so any old button will do, right? Just so that it coordinates with your piece. Look at that. Look how cute that'll be. And then we'll put that on there. Although I don't really like how much space it's got on here. I'm probably going to have to put another little bit of something under there. Maybe another little piece of this. That would be pretty with that too. Or I've got a whole pile of them. But anyway, that, or you know, we could put another, we could double it and pull them across. Oh, that would be a good idea. If you don't have, if your lace is not wide enough, we could do this. And it doesn't even matter if they crisscross or whatever. That might even make it a little more fun to just have them crisscross, or you know, or not be even. What am I saying? Oh, there, look at that. Then you just got to kind of deal with that. And then you could put this on here and put the button. Then you've got, you know, more layers on that. What do you think, you guys? You think you'll try and make some? I liked it. I thought it was going to take some of ours. Ruth, I would love to. I tell you what, I would love to send her some rain, right? Yeah, you said you had plenty of rain too. Okay, you guys. Well, we still have just a moment. Let me see if I can get, where was that other needle with the thread? Well, I don't know where that one needle with the white thread went. It's not really white, it's kind of an off-white. What happened to it? Oh, maybe the thread all came out. Maybe we used all the thread in that one. I do not know. I'll get some more here real quick. Whoops. And just tack that down and sew that in. But yeah, this is fun. Lots of ideas to be able to just, you know, make some things and make several of them, make a little pile and have them to use. I think that's a great idea. Lisa, thanks for the idea and the opportunity to, you know, make some fun little goodies. So let me, oops, nope. I'm putting a button in. I want to go down through the top of the button. That makes it easy. Then we know where we're going, right? So down through there. And when you're making these, if you're doing that, grab, you know, grab a pretty nice stitch behind so that you are, you know, kind of securing a big chunk of that. That's not even. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, my time is up, you guys. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna finish it, but thanks so much for being here today, and let's go over and see our next person, and let's go see what Lisa's gonna mass make today. Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye.